I don't care about the chair anymore. I do kind of care about the chair. Just in frame. Hi everyone. Willow, Mac, Theron, Al, GQ. There's that semicolon. Hilariously, in GD script, you actually don't use semicolons. It's more like Python, where there's just no semicolons. JavaScript is like semicolon optional. Weird. Hi everybody. Look at these upstanding gentlemen here. I aim for that level of hilarity. Not what I said, it's how I said it. What are we even doing tonight? Okay, we need to start figuring out what's going to be in the town and building some of them. Let's see here. Okay, one thing I need is I need a new dialogue box type. Like we have the regular bubble and we have the sign backdrop. I need a third type for the the in-between bits.
Interstitial.
The interstitial bits. I had to make sure I didn't embarrass myself with the wrong pronunciation. It's always the same chair. You don't need any. You don't really need them. 100% optional. Like semicolons in JavaScript. Different chat. No. The background chat bubbles are still going to be the same as they are now. But I need something more like it's gonna be along the lines of, and so our heroes, having triumphed over the dreaded Molsk, return to blah blah blah. It's that with a nice little like soft gradient background. That was an important clip. Chillin'. Al's big chillin'. Summer vacation is right around the corner. That's how he talks now. Because of the children. Because of all the children, you see. That's how he knows about Big Chungus. That's how he's tapped into all these hot memes. No cap, French. I think, okay. Spitballing time. We're gonna do some brainstorming. So we all know and remember how important the chair is. Okay. There needs to be an overarching antagonistic group. They will not be the final boss, but they will be, I guess they're more of like anti-heroes. They're not villains outright, but they will be acting as villains in a way. Their goals are diametrically opposed to yours, though neither you nor them are outright in it for evil. No, the Ratfinks are their own third-party thing. Vaguely. Like imagine if Smithy actually had like a decent reason for trying to build a world full of weapons. And then you randomly go off and fight Bowser at the end. That's what we're getting at here. Is there's going to be don't worry about it, Willow. No one important, I'm sure. What a weird robotic Santa Claus of a boss. Smithy is the ultimate villain in Super Mario RPG, and he has never appeared or, as far as I know, even been referenced. Like, I don't think he didn't have a Smash trophy or anything. Geno has been referenced more than Smithy. Semi-ultimate villain. So basically what we need is there is going to be a very gentle twist in the final chapter, and it's like, oh no, the thing we've been working towards, something bad is going to happen because of it. Oh no. And your main antagonist group for most of the game is kind of like aware of this and trying to stop it. It's like, if Dabble succeeds, everything is going to be ultimately better. But if Dabble almost succeeds, then everything's going to be a whole lot worse. I don't know. Yeah, there'll be like a little bit of team up, I assume. Sort of. It's going to be, it will get to the point for this antagonist group when they realize, like, oh, well, he's got the golden gears, so I guess we got to try to see this through now. It's like, it's too late to stop him, so we may as well try to help push it through. And I want it to kind of make sense, where it's kind of like a natural consequence that's not like, oh, they're good guys now. It's like, no, their goals haven't really changed, but you've pushed them to where they need to help you now. But at the same time, I do want to have some villains that are like, no, they're villains. They're straight up villains, and they're proud of it. So I don't know if I want to play this antagonist group as, like, initially it's like, oh, they're the villains. Just make you a baddie. Perfect. Why are they trying to stop Dabble? They do not want the City of Gears to be back online. Because it can be used for evil. No, I want them to be a serious threat. I think I want the player to see them as the main, like, villain organization of sorts. Is there a villain turned party member? Yes, there is. Sort of like Vivian. Sort of. More like Bowser than Vivian. More like not super apologetic. Not really feeling like, oh no, I was on the side of evil. No. They're just total Magus, a little bit Magus, but way less serious. Organization 13. Organization 6? So, I want to see, like, okay, so the antagonists, I'm not calling them the villains, because they're not really the bad guys, ultimately. They are trying to stop the gears from being retrieved. Bowser is perhaps the best character in all the Paper Marios, except like Sticker Star and the other weird ones. He's so good. And even Paper Mario 64, he was kind of like, eh. Thousand Year Door, he was good. Origami King, he was actually top tier. It was a bad Paper Mario. Yeah, I think that's the same of Origami King. Origami King was a really good game with a fun story and beautiful graphics and music. Red Herring will be a joke later in the game, so I don't think I can double dip on that. That, I believe, is going to be a Chapter 6 joke. I'm sorry, GQ. You missed the boat. Fix. So let's see here. I do want the player to kind of initially think like, oh, these guys are the villains because they're actively trying to seek out Dabble and basically dismantle him. Cat is unfortunate collateral damage if anything happens to Cat, I guess. But I think we'll have the hang on.
Interstitial.
The interstitial bits, the between chapters, we're gonna pan over to see like what's going on with this villain group who is actively monitoring the situation. Their goal is do not let the Golden Gears be returned to the City of Dreams. City of Dreams, City of Gears? I think City of Dreams. Maybe? Dream Machine? It's a side effect of reading, I guess. Reading and having a language that is not super consistent. So we are gonna have you end the chapter, you get the Golden Gear. Let me show you the Golden Gear. This is what the Golden Gear looks like. Ooh. Shiny. It's sparkly. I think I nailed down the right amount of sparkles for it. And it'll spin too, which is nice. There we go. No, because you need multiple gears in the machine, not one big golden gear. They are all golden. I am considering having them have a different colored sheen, perhaps. If I can figure out a nice way to do that. So we'll see. I can't go crystal gears or something, because that's... Crystal Stars has been taken. Okay, so the antagonist group, their main goal, and they see this as protection of the world, or at least of the immediate area, is they... Alright, the leader of this group knows and has seen firsthand kind of the fall of the city, and like seen what led up to it and what happened. It's going to be something along the lines of like, well, if you let everybody get their wishes granted, bad things can happen. It's best just to not have that power available at all. And it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So this guy's got like, okay, you got a good point there. So he has sort of formed this organization that is trying to keep the Golden Gears away from the city. He is old, and today I realized there's only one thing for him to be that old. He has to be a turtle. Turtle. Yeah, there it is. It was right there in front of us the whole time. So, Jelly, we're not going to have sea creatures running around until we get to the ocean chapter. But that's chapter 5. That's ages away. All right. So the leader is he's seen firsthand. He's like, all right, we gotta keep the gears away. And for decades, maybe even upwards of a century, who knows? We'll figure out the timeline at some point. He and a rotating group of defenders of sorts have been making sure that the gears stay out of the city by whatever means necessary. Yes, he has allies, but it's going to be like they haven't talked in a while, and gotta go talk to this guy, and do this, and oh my gosh, here come the lizards. Basically, as soon they made sure that the snails were guarding one of the golden gears, and then one of the snails kind of got it in his head to use the power of the gear, declared himself king, and the events of chapter 1 began to unfold. So this antagonist group is going to realize that, like, we got some news. The snails, that whole king business is wrapped up, but you're not gonna like this. One of the bots is switched on somehow, waltzed right in, got the gear. It's like, oh gosh, all right, well, we gotta do what we can to stop this. Somehow we need to play this as a like a villainous group, even though they're technically not villainous. It needs to be we are going to solve this by whatever means necessary. It's like they're not actively harming innocents or in this for power, but they are very single-minded in their goal. Yeah. But I think I don't want to come out the gate swinging with, these are multi-dimensional characters with reasonable motivations. No, I don't want to start it that way. We're gonna shortcut it at the beginning. We'll let that unfold a little bit, but at the get-go, I want to use some fiction shortcuts and just tell the player, these are the bad guys. Don't worry about the details yet. These are the bad guys. They are after the gears now. Why only just now? Ooh, well, that's an interesting question. I'm glad you brought that up. Don't worry about it, but keep that in mind. Sure, good job, player. Clever. Keep that in mind, but for now, they are now after the gears. So in this
interstitial.
In this interstitial, yeah, this is the post-chapter cutaway scene. Exactly, Al. Just like in the Paper Marios, the early Paper Marios, you get the thing, and then it cuts over to see, meanwhile, what's Princess Peach up to, or what's Bowser up to? That's what this is going to be. Is what are the villains doing now? I don't think it's possible.
Interstitial. Interstitial. Interstitial.
Okay, got it. So we're gonna have it cut over to, I don't know, like maybe that's not the one. Yeah, exactly. That's gonna be the thing, is we can very easily play it off as like, hey, we were, that king was our problem too. But now we need to go get the gears before this robot does and do something about it. We need to take care of this robot, take him offline. But this is a good chance to introduce some villains. Who made Dabble? Who made the city? That's going to be like so far back in the timeline that it's not even going to be touched on in the story of this game. Like maybe there's like some clues that we add in and some kind of like special, like, oh well, if you can translate the language, maybe you'll get a few little clues. Yes, Al, precisely. There's such a good tool to have in the story. So we're gonna need some villains, and we want to have a nice little conglomerate of like different. It's gonna be the usual like 4 to 5 man band of like, oh well, you got the leader, and then you got the real brute, and then you got kind of the broody type, and then you've got the girl. A villain theme, casual, you're probably gonna get to make like 5. for this group over time. Or, you know, realistically, like that group of bad guys from Mario and Luigi RPG. Gosh, I know so little about the Mario and Luigi RPGs. I played them like once each, and not all of them. The Superstar Saga. The Axum, yeah, I mean, you got your Axum Ranger. It's the typical 5-man band. No. The robots are completely autonomous. They have no morality. They are performing the functions they are given. These are the feelers of this larger machine. And individually, it is like ants in a colony. You know, they have no will of their own, really. 4-man band and 1. Think Super Paper Mario. That had a good villain band. Count Bleck and the other ones. Because you had your big brute, you had your bard. Dabble's function is to restart the machine. You had the victory song. Actually, it is a really good song. Like the chapter clear song. It is really good. This is after you finish the chapter. You get the golden gear, which is this. Spins around. And then immediately after that, segue into it's a little bit loud, but deal with it. There we go. Let's pull that in here. 1.49 seconds is the loop point. 1.49, huh? Awful. How did that happen? Here. It's not meant to loop. Well, it has to be able to. And it worked okay when I was trying it in Engine earlier. So I don't know why the loop point is like different in Audacity than it was in Godot. Because it was really fine earlier. It is, but That is scrolling text, which is going to let you read and press A at your convenience, which means that it is it needs to be able to loop. Oh, maybe this is the problem right here. Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. That's fine. Right like that. Okay, and then fade out the last little bit here. Boom. We've got an audio loop for it. Put that in our audio loops. Exporting, exporting, exporting. One more for the playlist. That was totally a good use of dev time. There we go. Now it's more appropriately volumed. Let's do this. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So we need to figure out some good antagonists, some villains for our little villain group. These need to be very different from one another because you will face them not every chapter. Not every chapter will have you face one of them, but a lot of the chapters you will interact with them. Similar to how the Shadow Sirens showed up in like Thousand Year Door Chapter 2, 4, and 6. And I suppose 8. Capybara. So they can have like some kind of niche gimmick going for them. So, for instance, there could be, like one of them could be a gambler. Should be animals. That is the running theme, and I think at this point, we're so far into it, we may as well stick to it. Say that again. Let's see, music stuff. I'm sure there's something. I'm sure there is some song that will be needed for chapter 1 for getting the demo done. But that said, we could. Oh, that's not a bad idea, Al. Oh, that said, there is a. Suits would be one thing. However, I already have a character that has to be named Jack, and I guess yeah. Okay, we can't really do playing cards. That's used. Suits could be cool. Perhaps Suits. Yeah, some other theming is possible. I'm okay with them having a theme or not having a theme. Casual, we could have a theme for the rats. Because you are going to have to fight the rats to get into chapter 1. Well, you're going to have to fight a rat. A big rat. I don't know if he needs his own villain music, or if there just needs to be a, oh, here's those rats again, kind of music. Here they get their own theme. It's a tutorial boss. It's TTYD equivalent, the blooper before you get into chapter 1, the one that guards the path to chapter 1. He doesn't really have his own theme or anything, and he has no story at all. But the rats are going to keep coming back as almost a sort of crime group. These guys are small-time villains. They're not in it for evil. They're just, yeah, they're hooligans. So they could have some kind of little The Rats theme. I don't know if we want a theme for that first rat boss, or if we want a recurring what's a good example? Anytime this group of characters is on screen, they've got their own, not jingle, but like their own theme song, like in Thousand Year Door, the Shadow Sirens. Yeah, cutscene music. The Shadow Sirens have their own little song that plays whenever they are scheming. And like it cuts away and you see like, oh, there's them again. And they've got their theme song that plays. Let me see if I can get that. Shadow Sirens theme. Whenever they show up. No, not that. No, not that one. Not that one. Not the battle. This one. That's not a bad idea, Ruby. This is the theme of the Shadow Sirens. It's just sort of like, this is when you are listening in and they're talking and arguing amongst themselves. It's kind of goofy. It's like, these guys. The rats are gonna be, the group, the antagonist group. I don't know. So I don't know if we want this particular vibe of theremin and wackiness. I guess a little bit of wackiness. They're very much comic relief villains. Let's see. Comic relief villains. Were there other... Did Grotus was kind of a dunce, but he had a kind of a rockin' theme, so he's not a good example. But yeah, the rats. The rats are just kind of like, cut purse. They're just stealing valuables. They're not really a huge threat, but there are a lot of them running about. And then at this point in the game, they come back for revenge after the tutorial fight and make you fight the big rat, who hasn't been given a name yet or has not been drawn at all yet, because that's Chapter 0, and we haven't really done much on Chapter 0. Prologue is still very unfinished. Chapter 1 is very close, as it has been. Alrighty. Was there any other good villains in? What about Super Paper Mario? Did it have a villain theme for the whole? Not Dementio, but like the whole group, What was that group of villains called? He's on music duty. What were the villains? Is this the one? No. Surely not. That's straight up just Count Bleck's theme. Or Chunks. No. Count Bleck's plan. this sort of thing of like kind of wacky. Oh, there's a villain doing villain things. Actually, the Shadow of Siren theme was a lot closer to the right vibe. Okay, so let's make some notes here. So we know who we know already. The leader has to be Turtle, and I don't even know if you're ever actually gonna have to fight him. Oops, pushed a button on the drawing tablet and it did things. Okay, so we could have like a brute, you know, a big bruiser character. We could have one that's like, you know, very techie, like a tinker character that's like messing around with like robot parts and has built their own version of robots that fight you that look like you. Oh. Actually, that could be really cool if done properly. Is a bunch of enemies that are made of scrap parts. A ferret. Ferrets are fun. Ferrets are great. I don't think we can do snakes because we need to save the snakes for Chapter 3 for the desert. They could be the snakes. Snakes could very easily be the main villain faction in the desert. Because they could be the no-armed bandits. And they could have little like cork guns, little pop guns. That would be very cute and very on theme for the game. And you could have some of them wearing a single boot, and some of them like biting their tail to form a wheel, and they roll at you. I don't know. We'll come up with some good snake ideas later. Ferret is good. Lab rat possibly. So let's say some kind of tech character. Pieces together parts of old robots to build big robot of some sort. I don't know. But that could be sort of almost a little bit of like the really eerie part of the game. It's almost a little bit body horror because it's like, oh my gosh, that is another that's several pieces of different dabbles cobbled together into one creature. And actually, that could be a very interesting mechanic. Is if like a magnet attack from such a character could inflict confusion status on Dabble, which would be very interesting and force you to like rely more on your partners rather than relying on Dabble's abilities. What else? Let's bring the gear back. Spin the gear. Show me the spinning gear, that we may gaze upon its glory. Okay, you gotta have a big muscle character. That's the muscle head, doesn't think fast, is just there to be the bruiser. Wizard. Let's see here. Wizard. Not even match. A fortune teller sorts. Okay. A seer. A seal seer. A soothseer. Fortune teller. Tarot card. Crystal ball. There's some good thematic things there. Bounty hunter. That's a fun one. I guess to some degree, they're all going to be sort of filling the role of bounty hunter of like, hey, stop this robot. And then all these different characters are going to be doing it in their own way in different locations. Maybe even occasionally teaming up with each other. A gunslinger. We will have definitely some gunslinger characters in the Wild West Chapter 3. Let's see here. Okay, so definitely tech character can do some really cool stuff. Creepy robot part thing. Every one of these games has to have like a really creepy part. And I think the idea of, you know, building something out of dismantled robots in a game where you play as one of those robots would be really cool, especially if it's like these weird sort of twisted creations. You know, the traditional sort of like, oh, there's one arm and a head or something. The kind of really weird, upsetting things. Pop star. We're planning on having a pop star fish in the form of a starfish later. But a very, like, full of themselves character. Ooh, a twist. A twist. That could be an interesting twist, couldn't it? The sort of second in command of the group. And it's really only known by the turtle leader himself. Now, the tricky thing is that the type of robot that Dabble is, very specifically, canonically, does not have a will of their own. They are 100% bound to fulfill their orders. However, there is sort of a different classification of robots that has a bit more decision-making abilities, a bit more sentience. And so it very well could be that it's, you know, one of those types of robots. So that could definitely be something. Let me at least add that to the list of notes here. What else? Different fighting styles, different weapons. Card Shark is always good, like the like playing card themed boss. Not a great example, but there was the Final Fantasy VI character that had like the slot machine thing going on. That's a fun theme, because you could do like several card themed attacks, you know, and it's like randomized. Oh, you gotta remember where these cards are. Actually, that could be very interesting as an attack. He shuffles cards, and then the cards are out on the board as attackable units, and you got to remember which one is the good one and which one does which. It's like, don't hit that one. That one will explode on you. Or like the character hides themselves in the playing cards, then you're trying to remember which one is which while they're like, it's doing the pig shuffle, but in the middle of a battle. That's really good. That's really good. Like a card shark gambler sort. Casino themed. Now in this
Interstitial.
in this interstitial bit, I'm considering the idea that you only see the silhouettes of these characters to start with, and I make sure to give them each individual vocal tendencies, something about their speech pattern that makes it easier to determine which one is which. A sort of, spelling accent that they each get. Like one of them always drops the G from any ing and replaces it with an apostrophe. So, it's like, okay, this guy kind of talks a little bit. You know what I mean. And one of them has like very very proper and like throws in shall and shan't. That sort of thing to make it obvious, like, okay, this one is talking, so you can tell just from what their text says. It's like, okay, this is character 1, this is character 2. Now, how well will we be able to do that? I don't know, but that would be good if we can get by with just like silhouettes and text bubbles for this one bit. And that means that if we include this in the demo, which we should, because it makes for an interesting sort of cliffhanger that you're like, oh, there's a mystery afoot, then we are more free to change out the artwork on the characters before the actual release of the game. Okay, we don't need a ton of them, though, do we? We'll definitely get one showing up in Chapter 2 somewhere. And they'll blab a lot about, like, what's going on so that the characters kind of... What's the turtle's deal? He can't just be a turtle. He's old. Turtle. He's an old turtle with big bushy eyebrows. Have a cane sword? I mean, he definitely needs a cane, doesn't he? Is it a sword? Probably not. I kind of like the idea that you never even fight him. That by the time you get to that point, he's kind of the stand aside. Like, you end up against him at the end of the game, and then he's like, well, we're in this far. There's nothing that we can do anymore. You guys go ahead. You got us. Now I'll explain everything. So that could be his deal. It's like, you don't even really fight him. He expositions at you towards the end of the game to fill in the missing pieces, explain things that have not been spelled out. And that's that. So some kind of... Okay, so tech character, definitely cool. Like the expert on the robots and kind of understands how they work, what you can do to stop them, that kind of thing. That's good. Card Shark, He's the wild card character. Oh my gosh, he could be an actual shark. Crud, he's gonna be an actual shark. Well, that forces him into a certain chapter of the game, at least, that makes sense for him. They're a funny animal to be a tinkerer. I mean, Mac brought up lab rat as an idea. Card shark. Actual shark. Sure. Monkey. Monkey wrench. There's something there. Gorilla. Lab rat might be the... That's just Winston. We might go with lab rat. Because we already have a design for rats built in. And then like a brute character of some sort. Could be a rhino. Yeah, could know the rats, have a connection there. Or maybe they're not on good terms. Maybe that's sort of an epilogue. Is that is like, oh, they know each kind of the Link to the Past end of the game credits epilogue, where it shows all the places you've been, and it's like shows some of the characters together, and like, oh, they're friends, oh yeah. And so we go through that and see like, oh, and then they're buddies, yeah, they know each other, they're hanging out, they're friends now. Okay, so we need, let's see, rhino, elephant. Which one is the girl? It's not the leader. Not going to be the card shark. I could see the lab rat being a girl. Because you do have to have a girl. It's true. You know, in a 4 to 5 man band of villains, one of them at least has to be a girl. Hey, Bach. Could have 2 girls. It's entirely possible. Girl rhino? Brute? Tentatively, we will say rhino for a brutish character. You gotta have a brute villain in your villain organization. The muscle. A direct nemesis of Cat. It makes sense. There'd definitely be some banter. Oh yeah. Give the second in command like a mystery cloak. Yeah, a mask of some sort. Dementia. It's like neat. Okay. For the rats, shadowy advisor. Always whispers to the turtle. I like it. At least for something. Let's take a look. Let's take a listen. Everyone, we're gonna listen to a music. Let's see. Okay, the driving drums put me more in mind of something is like tense a little bit, like almost like it's like a light version of a battle theme. Like right here, right at that point, right before you go into measure 7, if you just absolutely break it down, then you could have a rip-roaring battle theme. That starts out kind of like, okay, what we doing? All right, okay. Or actually, maybe it goes even a little bit further. Not originally. So for the rats, we need kind of a dinky little, like, you are listening to them talk. You are not actively fighting them. You're just listening to them kind of yammer on and do comic relief at each other. Yeah, as it stands, the song you got right here, it does feel like this is the first part of a battle theme before the drums like seriously kick in, and then like the overdrive guitar rips into it, all that stuff. The song we will need for the rats, and I don't know if this will fit in with the one you've got here will fit in with the rats or not. The one we will need for the rats needs to be not super drive. It probably doesn't even need drums. Okay, well, you know what we were saying. 2. Unbelievable. Okay, I think we've got our 5-man band for the villains. So I guess we will need to draw them out if I'm going to make this cinematic for the end, for the interstitial.
Interstitial.
After chapter 1. Consume Oreos. So we'll need to draw 5 characters. How is the shark gonna work? Okay, you're back. Yeah. For the rats, we just need something while you're listening to them yammering and being comic relief characters at each other. Kind of they're doofy, not villains, but they're just doofy bad guys. I was thinking give him a diving helmet. Like a fishbowl helmet, but it's like actually full of water. Maybe has a fish swimming around in it. Yeah, the Rats song probably does not need drums, unless it's kind of like a very light, like, you know, I don't know, something doofy. But keep in mind, these are the blundering comic relief wannabes of the criminal underworld. And so, you know, lots of bickering and arguing and a little bit of slapstick. Eventually, there will be actual threats from them, but for the most part, they're just kind of doofy side characters that sometimes you have to pick a fight with. Okay, let's try to do some concept art. Everyone loves concept art. Let's do some villain concept art for a bit. there it goes. Took its sweet time. Alright, so we're actually going to need 5 characters here. Ah. 10 of them. It's never going to be more than 3 minutes. So I selected 3 minutes every hour so that nobody has to get pre-rolls. Whenever you pop into the stream, you get to watch the stream immediately instead of waiting through ads. Unless you come in towards the top of the hour. Okay. Turtle character. We need a turtle. We need a lab rat. We need a card shark. We need a rhino. And then the sneaky second in command. Obviously, we need to start with the big bushy eyebrows. Glasses. A little bit awkward shaped glasses of some sort. Angry glasses. Square glasses seem good. Mr. Bushy Brows, that's right. He needs to have big, bushy eyebrows. Okay. Glasses. Turtle. So. Not too far out. And then, we need a big mustache. Big bushy mustache, too. Just to make his face a little bit of an easier shape to manage. And a hat. Smaller hat. Bowler hat. Bowler hat? Okay. Except the bushiness is probably going to be white hair. But roll with it for now. Spiky bushiness. Turtle head, definitely a turtle head. Pain. Okay, the bowler hat really doesn't work super well as is, but it's a it's a work in progress. It's fine. Maybe if it was a bit more. Now it looks more of a. There we go. More like top hat. Work in progress. Work in progress. All right, there we go. There's one. He's the leader of the bunch. He's a turtle. Shark. It's gonna be so hard to do. Hammerhead? Maybe? Because, like, having a forward-facing... that. Where did the nostrils go? There? Now, how in the world... That's the general shape, right? Okay, just move this out of the way for now. Okay, and then just like the shark wears a suit. I'm thinking like basically just a helmet. Like that. No, it's a turtle. It's a turtle. It's fine. This is if we really go the shark route, this is gonna be a really weird character to mess with. Like, working with this character is gonna be very difficult. He's basically gonna show up in cutscenes, and then a completely different model is gonna show up later in the game when he's actually moving around. Totally like that. What a doofy character. All right, well, keep him in the rotation, I guess. We gotta have characters to pick from here. I don't know about the shark. Shark seems like a real pain to work with. Does shark have another fin? Like, I don't know. I don't know a thing about sharks. Lab rat. Okay, well, obviously, goggles. You gotta have goggles. Goggles, butt, nose. Nose that kind of comes up a bit. Too much up. Okay, no more up. Totally different goggles. No. Cat has these goggles. Very different. These are proper safety goggles here. Cat has like welding. Lab rat has lab safety goggles. She's mad. And then mostly, I think we'll do kind of a similar proportions to the rats. Well, they're in here somewhere. This guy. Is basically like, oh yeah, definitely. She'll get a little lab coat. Ah! Lab rat! Rah! Perfect. Great. Love it. Shark is looking worse and worse to me. Rhinoceros. Oh my gosh. Oh, what was I even thinking? Rhinoceros. Okay. Bighorn. Big stout horn. Orca Shark Power Ranger helmet. Eyelashes, because girl. Then like that's too side profile. It's way too side profile. We need this horn facing a little bit more forward. Okay, so like comes out a bit more. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get eyes on both sides, but something like that. Ears. Oh, this is doofy. This is gonna be a little bit doofy. It just looks like a hippo with a horn now. Do not call her a hippo. Oh no. Alright. Card Shark, make it changed out with something else. Some other gambling sort. Because profile-wise, I think Rhino should be the, the big... She may not even need a smile. Ripno. Alright. Let's give her a comically muscular, like, is she carrot shaped? Or is it just like really low head? Like, is this? There's so many routes you can do with the Bruiser character. It's like one is just like really, really buff, and then the other is just like wall. The Womp build. I guess rhinos have like flat hands. Flat hooves? Is it hooves with rhinos? Or do they have like a different name for it? It's kind of like, oh, time to clobber. Strong mad build? Just like completely like all upper body and then just like no, that's too silly. That's too silly. Let me come up with a good character design. Yeah, it's hooves. Design a rhino that's going to beat you up and take your lunch money. All right. So far, Lab Rat character is most usable design. What can we do with this? What if we consider moving head around? Doesn't really work, does it? Like maybe you can move it a little bit down, and that's still okay. Where do feet go? Where do the feet go? I feel like the whole thing should be kind of tilted or something. Welcome back, Casual. Okay. Big rhino. Sure. better than Shark. No idea what I'm doing. Nikki second in command. All right, let's see what we got here. Yes. Almost. That's much, much more what we're looking for. Yeah. This guy, and another guy that looks exactly like him. Idling around. Yeah, casual. That's the vibe. That is the vibe. It's like these guys are up to no good. Keepa. Cheap. Can I request? Oh boy, this is gonna be hard. Hang on. Yep, A. I'm wondering, I don't know if this would be better or not, but something more off-kilter. So this is the chord progression you got is very, very standard, very normal, not in a bad way. This is a terrible virtual piano. There's got to be one that doesn't require holding shift for different keys. Come on, where are the good virtual pianos in here? Come on, give me a good one. No, then that's not where that goes. No, that's terrible mapping. Surely, come on. Does anybody have a decent one that maps to the actual keyboard? To the actual, keyboard. There we go. Okay, so what you got is the... it doesn't go that low. It's a very, very standard. So what could you do to be like a little bit goofier? Let's see. Goofy sound effects is one. I'm wondering if there's some kind of chord that's like, that's a weird chord to put there. No, that's Crisp Climb Castle. Let's see. Okay, so A minor. Mix it up with minor? No, that's spooky. What E flat? What E flat? No, that's Banjo-Kazooie. Maybe that's a weird one. Maybe? It's a bit Cloud Cuckoo Land. All right, turn off this sustain. I didn't even... Okay, that's much better. Oh, what if... Okay, so currently... What if instead of that... A little bit of dissonance? Maybe? Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's probably good as is. And I'm mostly basing that because I can't find anything that's really. No. No, I can't find anything. And then down to wait, what about maybe? It's like you don't want to go into like Nightmare Before Christmas if you go to B flat. Wait, what? All right, well, yeah, I think it'll probably be fine as is. Okay, don't save, don't save. Rhino with... Wait. With a cute little bonnet. No, a little flowery hat. A little hat. Little hat. A little hat with a little flower. You sent some of the inspiration for it. Carnival. Everyone loves Erie Carnival. Sucker for Erie Carnival as a theme. It's like always fun time. Erie Carnivals in video games, so good. All right, robot. Not quite Dabble. Looks like a golden gear. Head shaped like a gear. It is imperative that the quest giver in the prologue, the one that's setting the whole thing into motion, has a head shaped like a gear and is a robot. This one have to be, to conceal a giant gear head, you just have to have a smaller head. You can't have a gear head. Look at this guy. He doesn't even need... eyes, per se. Could be like a Dabble speaker box sort of thing going on. No eye. And then connects to speaker box, connects to the control mechanism, which you probably will never see. At this point, it's just going to be cloak. Full on ruffly cloak business. And this whole thing, scale-wise, needs to be more on par with the rhinoceros, but significantly slimmer silhouette. Claw hands. We'll do claw hands like Dabble has. But much longer, more humanoid proportion. And so to properly manage that, you gotta have loose garment kind of thing going on. So, the outside. Get more like this. We'll cover it up with some kind of, darkness. Enshrouded in darkness. And then just sort of this business here. Mysterious robed figure. With no eye silhouette going on. There you go. Something like that. So not the first. And I wonder if, you see a second robed character, you're like, is that another pig? We'll probably robe all the way out, connected to conceal any robot hands going on here. There we go. Perfect. Great. Mystery character. Love it. What a twist. Okay, so we've got you, and we've got you as the leader. We've got Rat, we've got the muscle. And then we need of course, we need our gambler character, who we still don't know. What can we have? Alligator? Make it a snake. We already are planning on having snakes as... Oh, you're right. That is true. Snakes are already expected to be the villains in Chapter 3. I could loop it in. I could loop it in a bit. All right, let's scoot. Everybody scooch. Like, when they realize, like, oh no, somebody's getting the gears. We gotta do something. We gotta stop the robot from doing that. Then this collection of antagonists can say, all right, you go here, you got some in with the snakes. Yeah, Snake Eyes does work pretty well in that case. Snake character. Big cheesy grin. Big cheesy grin. No, the snakes need fangs, not big cheesy grin. What kind of headwear does this guy have? He's got to have some weird headgear, right? He needs accessories. He's the Grand Advisor. It doesn't matter. The character. Don't worry about it. It's not important. Probably not important at all. Visor. No. This guy needs something. 100% he needs something. Or he's going to be a very boring looking character of just a snake. have a pattern of some kind for sure, but that's not like enough. He needs accessories. A scarf. He's gonna be in the desert. A sombrero. He needs a big old sombrero. A fez. Snakes. What is it? Snakes get fezzes a lot, don't they? What's up with that? Snake and a fez. Is that a common thing? Or is that not? I guess not. Alright. Let's give him a sombrero. So that means it needs like a bit of a like fez. I guess some of them can have sombreros. Alright, let's see about a fez. Maybe. I'm not going to rule out the fez. But at least one snake is going to be wearing a sombrero. Jeez, how even? How do you get the sort of the lip, the rim of a sombrero? I guess it's all in the edges, maybe? Maybe it's a little bit of this, something, I don't know. So it could be like a pirate. No. Absolutely not. 100% not. This is probably the worst sombrero anyone has ever attempted. Let's see, how do I draw a sombrero? Just wide rim, mostly flat rim. Flat brim. Tall. You better be kidding. Okay. Suppose we can just do that. I guess the color is what makes it more of a sombrero, isn't it? In which case, you'd have to do like... that. Perfect. Incredible. Sombrero snake. Beautiful. Okay, that's a maybe. That's a maybe. Group those. Control T. Why can I not Control T these layers? Oh, it's this guy. All right, don't worry about that guy. All right, just everybody squeeze in. All right. These guys over here. Put this guy over here. There. The League of Crappy Anti-Hero Don't worry about it. It's perfect. He doesn't even need the sombrero at first. Because keep in mind, for the interstitial, we're just going to do silhouettes. Which is like nothing. So it's like I don't even need these colored in. I just need them to be a solid color and have parts that I can kind of like animate wiggling around a bit. And that's all it needs. So it'll be very silly. But I do need that for the, hey, you have finished chapter 1. Here's a little taste of plot before chapter 2 begins. And then we end the demo. And that's end of demo, end of disc 1. It's something. It's not great, but it's not nothing. Okay, let's make some plans on what we're actually going to do next stream. I need this for off-stream stuff. Let's see here. I'm not sold on this design for the second in command evil advisor sort. I mean, I know it's just a mock-up, but it's a tough sell. Like, it could just be the 4, even. 5th character would be interesting, but we don't need them all. Like, if this design sucks too much, we'll just take them out. And then we'll move them around for, I don't know, better balance in the art. There, we've erased him from history. It was an interesting idea, but unless a better design makes him worth it, we'll stick with a set of 4, which is basically a leader and then 3 others. Yeah, 3 is a lot easier personality-wise, I guess. But yeah, you do need sort of the brooding type, and I could definitely see the snake being sort of the loudmouth, boastful sort. Rhino, obviously, you got the sort of the slow talking, doofy brute character, and then Lab Rat. We'll think on that. Okay, next time, would it be worth building out some of these other things you can do in town, both for prologue and beyond? We still need a way to get to the sort of hit of 100 trials kind of thing, but that's not going to be in town. That's going to be somewhere in the back zone, the back of the hub, the more dangerous areas. So here we need a place where you can buy modules. We need a place where you already got a place where you can buy items. We need a place where you can do cooking. Cooking is going to be a thing. partner upgrade kind of stuff is going to be much later. Can't do that until we already have more than one partner, I think, is what would make the most sense for that. Ugh. Possibly some kind of hint zone. Place you go when you need a hint on, like, not what to do next, but like for missing items. Thousand Year Door had that. I never really used it, but very helpful if you're trying to get 100%. Let's see. Oh, maybe a notice board for like, here is what the current plot situation is. Cooking. So we could build a separate scene to be sort of the cooking zone. I'm on the fence about how cooking is going to work, because part of me is interested in making it so that you can cook on the go at a certain point in the game. Like, you gain the ability to cook items, maybe at some nominal cost of like energy points or something to do cooking. Because then it becomes something you could actually use as a mechanic in the trials, in the infinite pit. It's like, if you get items, then you can kind of think like, well, I could upgrade this by cooking it, but that's going to cost some like energy. Do I want to? Do I not want to? I mean, that was the general idea, is that like Dabble is actually the oven, and they put the food inside of him and he cooks it. Microwave oven style. But I don't think I want that to be the only way you do cooking. Because on the other hand, we have the Lily's Pad. Way out in Chapter 1 has the blender for making smoothies. It's like, can you actually go here and have them cook smoothies? Or maybe smoothies are a special item that's like, it's not technically part of the cooking minigame stuff, but if you bring fruit, you can get a smoothie item. Because we do have 4 different types of fruits. So that's an option there. Is that's a separate thing. Cooking minigame. Cooking will not so much be a minigame as a menu. Or should it be a minigame? Should there be cooking as a minigame? Or it could be that you have to complete some kind of cooking minigame in order to earn the right to use the kitchen. And then later you can come back and complete a second minigame to earn the ability to combine items. Yeah, the cooking license. And then you complete a third one to gain the ability to cook on the go using energy. As like a permanent upgrade. It's like, now you can do it in the menu anywhere you are, but it costs some of the same points you use for special moves. The moves that can actually do some, pack a little bit more of a wallop. That would actually be kind of interesting. Okay, a kitchen. Thousand Year Door and Paper Mario 64 both did. Here is a cooking character who can cook for you. Bug Fables did it too. Here's a kitchen zone with a cooking character that is making meals for people. If you bring them ingredients, they will cook it for you for free. The only investment is you have to come here to this spot that's not that far out of the way, and you have to wait for a little menu cutscene to play. I don't even remember how Super Paper Mario did most of that stuff. I really only played through the game one time. At some point, I probably should give it another go. Okay, cooking should not be available in Chapter 1. It's too early. It's too many things to throw at the player. Ah, there you go. You know, in Thousand Year Door, they never force you into any cooking. It's completely optional. You need it for side quests occasionally, and it's very useful, but they never force you to do it. Okay, if I wanted to make you wait until after Chapter 1, that would mean we want to put it, like, in here or something. Or up here. Something like that. I could conceivably stick a shipping container up here and say that that's like the entrance to a little diner. The ditzy bruiser sort of character. Like, this is nice as is. I don't want to lock too much stuff behind Chapter 1, but gosh, it would be nice. Or maybe Thousand Year Door didn't let you cook until after Chapter 2, in which case it's much easier to block access to it by making it something that you initially need Leon to get you to. And then you can create a shortcut or something. But I think we can assume it's going to be an interior space of some sort. What kind of character does the cooking? We need what sort? I mean, the obvious one for the animal character that enjoys food would be a pig, but we can't use that. We can't use pigs. Hippopotamus, or we go silly and go like skunk or rabbit. I don't see it. I don't see that one. Yeah, let's plug this. A goat. Because goats will eat anything is the joke there. Goat is kind of funny. Goat. Is that worth doing? Is that the one? Goat might work. Seagull, bird character, interesting. We'll give it some thought. Maybe sleep on that a little bit. I assume we'll be doing some kind of separate area to hold the cooking zone. The Great Hall of Cooking. I was thinking, do we need to start working on the cooking mechanic in the game? But there's not going to be much to it. Dinosaur. I don't think we'll go with dinosaur. Cooking is mostly going to be a menu of choose up to 2 items and then watch a very short animation and then receive a new item. The only piece that we actually really need to think about is how to map this item plus this item yields this item. And that can basically just be a big list of every possible recipe in the game. That's not huge. That's not that bad. Yeah, that's really straightforward. So then the most of the grunt work comes into just like planning out the animation and what that looks like. But again, that doesn't have to be a chapter 1 thing. But it probably needs to be in a fairly accessible location. What if a cooking boat? Like a kitchen on a boat? Like a boat restaurant? Sails into the, for lack of a better word, to the harbor. After chapter 2. And additional bonus is that lets you get onto it on one side and off of it on the other side. That's true, that's true. Hamster. So that could be something interesting, as like the sort of blockade to getting you into chapter 3 is, well, first you need to, solve some arbitrary issue that the boat is having. Oh, now they can cook for you. It's like, okay, cool. Great. And then, that fish character, I do, but they're not going to be here. 100% they're not going to be here. They can't be here. The plot forbids it. Yeah, like the boat comes in, it needs help, and they can't open without X, and then you retrieve X. It's like, well, there, now you can get across, and then, hey, this boat happens to very neatly create a passageway across with its gangplanks or something. And also it has a mobile kitchen inside or something. We don't even really need the interior of the kitchen. Like, it could just be exterior. And just like you go up to a little order window. Chef might not even be visible. Chef could be on the interior. Shouts out, but doesn't ever have a character model. And then you can cross over to the other side and begin whatever it is that goes on to get you into chapter 3, which will be its own thing. Okay, that might work. So we're not ready to start the cooking system yet. What are we ready to start on? Prologue boss. We need to start a prologue boss. Which is a big rat. A big, punchy rat. Kind of like the tutorial fight rats, but bigger and meaner. And maybe with a tattoo. That's it. That's what we'll do, I guess, next time. Start prologue boss. Doesn't need to have a ton of health or anything, but it does need to be possible to lose. Where are we gonna go now? Where do we go now? Let's go hang out with Photon. Cat would never willingly part with money. Thank you all for joining. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see about maybe drawing a big angry rat and then maybe doing some animation and maybe planning out some basic attacks. I don't think it'll be much of a gimmick fight. It'll just be a straightforward, like, hey, you fought a few enemies, you know what you're doing. Now fight this thing. Good luck. That's it. No tricks. Just fighting. All right, we're gonna go hang out with Photon. See you guys over there. Have a good night and have a good holiday weekend if you are having a holiday weekend. Bye.